The story of Honda. Honda is now one of the most respected brands on the planet. Its cars, motorcycles, and engines have become part of everyday life for millions of people around the world. But the story behind this global empire began in the most unlikely way. In 1922, a 15-year-old Japanese boy arrived in Tokyo searching for an opportunity. His name was Soichiro Honda. He had no money, no experience, and no connections. The only job he could find was at a small auto repair shop. But for months, he never touched an engine. Instead, he swept the floors, cleaned the workshop, and spent most of his time looking after the owner's young child. For most people, that would have been enough to give up. For Soichiro Honda, it was only the beginning. Born in 1906 in a small rural village in Japan, Soichiro grew up in a modest family. His father was a blacksmith who also repaired bicycles, while his mother worked as a skilled weaver. From an early age, he showed an unusual fascination with machines. That fascination became an obsession the day he saw an automobile for the very first time. It was a Ford Model T driving along a dusty country road. Mesmerized by what he was seeing, young Soichiro instinctively chased the car as fast as he could until it disappeared into the distance. Years later, he would describe that moment as one of the most defining experiences of his childhood. School never truly interested him. While other children focused on textbooks, Soichiro preferred spending his time taking things apart, sharpening farm tools, repairing bicycles, and learning by trial and error alongside his father. When he finally earned the chance to work on automobiles in Tokyo, his talent quickly became impossible to ignore. His determination, curiosity, and relentless work ethic impressed the shop owner, who began teaching him not only the technical side of mechanics, but also how to run a successful business. Around the same time, Soichiro discovered another lifelong passion: motorsports. He helped build racing cars, attended competitions, and witnessed firsthand how racing pushed engineering beyond its limits. For him, every race was more than a competition. It was a laboratory where innovation happened at full speed. At just 21 years old, he was entrusted with managing one of the company's new branches in Hamamatsu. The beginning was anything but easy. Customers were hesitant to leave their expensive cars in the hands of someone so young. But exceptional work speaks louder than age. Little by little, his reputation grew, and so did the business. Still, repairing cars wasn't enough. Soichiro wanted to build them. In the 1930s, he founded his own company to manufacture piston rings. What followed was years of failure. His products repeatedly failed quality inspections. When Toyota tested one of his first production batches, only 3 out of 50 piston rings met the required standards. Many entrepreneurs would have walked away. Soichiro chose to learn instead. He immersed himself in metallurgy, studied manufacturing techniques, visited steel mills and universities across Japan, and spent years refining every detail of his designs. Eventually, his persistence paid off. His piston rings finally met Toyota's demanding standards, and orders soon began arriving from across the country. Just as success seemed within reach, World War II changed everything. His factories were bombed. A devastating earthquake destroyed what remained. In only a few hours, nearly everything he had spent decades building was gone. Once again, he had to start over from scratch. Post-war Japan was facing economic collapse. Fuel was scarce, transportation was limited, and daily life had become a struggle for survival. Then Soichiro noticed something others had overlooked. Military surplus generators equipped with small gasoline engines had been abandoned after the war. He had a simple but brilliant idea. What if those engines could power bicycles? The concept wasn't entirely new, but the timing couldn't have been better. People desperately needed affordable transportation. His motorized bicycles became an instant success. In 1948, Soichiro officially founded Honda Motor Company. But building a company required capital he didn't have. So he wrote thousands of letters to bicycle shop owners across Japan, asking them to invest in a shared vision of rebuilding the country. Around 3,000 shop owners believed in him. Their support provided the funding Honda needed to begin mass production. Over the following years, Honda refined its motorcycles until it introduced a model that would change everything. The Honda Super Cub. Simple, reliable, affordable, easy to ride. The Super Cub became a global phenomenon and remains the best-selling motor vehicle in history. Its success opened the doors to international markets, especially the United States, where Honda began challenging long-established motorcycle manufacturers on their own home turf. Yet Soichiro's biggest dream had never been motorcycles. Ever since he was 8 years old, he had wanted to build automobiles. In the early 1960s, despite widespread skepticism, and despite being told Japan didn't need another car manufacturer, Honda entered the automotive industry. The first models showed promise. But the true breakthrough came in 1972 with the launch of the Honda Civic. As the global oil crisis forced consumers to seek smaller and more fuel-efficient vehicles, the Civic arrived at exactly the right moment. It delivered remarkable fuel economy, outstanding reliability, and innovative engineering. It quickly became one of the world's most successful compact cars. Soon after, the Honda Accord expanded the company's reach even further, helping transform Honda into one of the world's leading automotive manufacturers. Throughout his life, Soichiro Honda experienced failure after failure. He survived financial collapse, natural disasters, serious racing accidents, and countless setbacks that would have convinced most people to quit. But perhaps his greatest talent wasn't engineering. It was resilience. He believed that failure was never the opposite of success. It was part of the journey toward it. When Soichiro Honda passed away in 1991, he left behind far more than a global corporation. He left a philosophy built on curiosity, relentless improvement, and the courage to keep moving forward when everything seems lost. Today, Honda produces automobiles, motorcycles, aircraft, marine engines, robotics, and advanced power equipment, serving customers in nearly every corner of the world. And it all began with a 15-year-old boy who accepted the smallest job in a repair shop because he believed it could become something greater. Perhaps that's the greatest lesson of Soichiro Honda's life. The world's greatest companies aren't built by people who never fail. They are built by people who don't refuse to stop trying. It began with a simple idea: to build something that would move the world. Pure engineering, crafted for the soul. This is the power of dreams. Which Honda vehicle do you think changed history the most? Leave your answer in the comments. If you enjoy documentaries that uncover the stories behind the world's greatest companies, subscribe, because the next story is already on its way.